Welcome everyone, this is Pineleaf Needles and you are listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Andang,
Hey, everybody.
Derry Adwin,
Hi, hi.
Maven,
Hey y'all.
Aerithert,
Hello, everybody.
and Carvet.
At your service and your families. Sorry.
He didn't sound,
Because this
he
week
didn't
it's
sound
fun.
100% sure this time.
What I should have said was, at your service, but your family's going to have to wait because mine's too demanding. That's what I should have said. I was like, yeah,
Right, and this week
finally.
we have another build of Update 17 where they have added a couple of polishing to Minas Tirith and a new epic battle. And how the epic battle go?
Yes, well, Pineleaf, you were oddly absent this week, so I had to go with Terry.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
Because, you know,
Terry is
Well,
Pineleaf's
you're the one who
understudy.
scheduled it.
I'm the second
Too
choice, clearly.
No, I'm just kidding. Myself and Terry had a lot of fun going through the new epic battle, and I know that's surprising. I said fun and epic battle in the same sentence.
I know.
was gonna say.
But,
But it looked a lot the same as the previous one.
well, it didn't feel the same as the different. I don't know exactly how to put it, but there were like different troop types, and there were different things. For example, once they get Grand put together, I think that that'll work out pretty well. And it just feels more. There were more atmospheric effects and things like that going on, and it just felt more like a real battle.
Yes, but the
Um,
question is whether the other one is just waiting for the atmosphere to be put on it since you didn't
That's
run
true.
the first one since then, right?
No,
Did
I
I?
haven't.
Yes, we
And
did.
or yeah, okay, actually we did
Yeah, we
because I
did,
did it with
because we
Terry,
had
and
to-
it's still the
because-
same.
Oh,
In order
okay.
for me to do the second battle, I had to do the first battle.
That's right. Um,
Ah,
And so, anyway, there's just something about it that, it's because the city behind the wall is burning. Because
minor
the
detail.
enemies,
Still had
trebuchets
fire.
and catapults have fired flaming things into the city and setting it on fire.
Well,
Think
the
And-
Roses
catapult,
did
it was
say the
very
city was
sad.
burning.
Exactly, but like this is like probably like 50% of the city's on fire, at least
Well,
the ground
Roses
level.
could see it from how far they live from Minas Tirith. A
That's
lot must have been
true.
burning.
And so, I mean, it's pretty impressive to see the huge, the biggest city Lotro's ever had by far on fire and burning.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a big change, is that no matter where you looked, there was fire and orcs and arrows and all sorts of stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's still definitely an epic battle, but this one was more enjoyable, I thought anyway.
Fire, orcs, and arrows. Oh, my.
We managed
We're
to
off
get
to see
stuck.
the
so that
wizard,
was
the
fun.
wonderful white wizard of...
We kind of broke ourselves in the instance.
We did. We almost got stuck. Well, we actually literally got stuck and we had
We
to
literally
unstuck
got stuck.
ourselves.
We had to use the stuck command.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Funny when you did that.
Yeah, nothing like breaking the landscape.
Well,
Yeah.
if there's a dev watching this that's involved with this stuff, I have a feeling there might be an invisible wall appearing there.
We
I
found
hope
a
so.
spot
There
where
there should be, because I don't
wasn't
want players
wall.
to get
There's,
stuck like that.
everywhere else except for the one spot we went through.
Yeah. We just happened to find the one gap in the
The
invisible
one
wall.
gap that had no invisible wall.
Yeah.
One gap to stick them all.
And in the immortal limbo.
And in the dark wall, because it was the dark wall that got us stuck in the first place. Find
Mm.
them.
All right. And on this coming Tuesday, which will be the 13th of October, the game will be down from 8 a.m. through 3 p.m. so that they can launch the new store.
It's a long time for the game to be down.
Wow, they must be seriously
Is it
messing
really
around
from
with
8
the
a.m. to
background.
3 p.m.?
So,
Well,
are we,
that's what they gave. It could be that they gave it a generous downtime just in case they had difficulty
case
in
they break
integrating the new
something?
store.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah,
mean,
so
one-
therefore we could only hope that they were overly generous with the amount of time they allocated for it.
Well, at the same time, transferring the store to, I think it's actually a new provider, because I think they're changing who does it, could involve a lot of time.
Yeah, there is that.
So it is possible. Plus, they usually in these type of updates, whenever they have any update leading up to like the big update at the end of the year, they usually are patching in like the latest version of Bulwark. Just you can't go over there. They're just putting in like all the files so that it's a smaller download once the update actually comes.
Yeah.
So there could be that too.
Well, the one
One,
thing that I found strange, though, is that there is no downtime scheduled for DDO, so they're only doing the update for LOTRO
Yeah,
this.
they already said in the past that the Lotro side is going to be the guinea pig on the new store and on the new servers. So,
Ah, okay.
yeah. So lucky us, I guess.
Yeah.
one other interesting thing I'm interested in the update 17, like the second build, is that they're adding the Amphalos Scrolls of Empowerment and Starlit Crystals to the merit barters, so you can use Stars of Merit for Scrolls of Empowerment and Starlit Crystals, which is huge. It's like
Well, yeah.
another way to finish Terry's favorite part of the legendary item grind. But like that to me, like I think they're probably going to adjust the prices a little bit because they are honestly rather low. It's only
I
75.
hope to keep them low. I really hope
75 scrolls.
75 for the empowerment scrolls, but to max out a single weapon, you need 84 of those things. And
Yeah.
then it's like 150 for the starlit crystals. I don't think you can actually barter for those anywhere.
No, you can't.
So
Which is
that's
great.
huge.
It is huge. I wouldn't,
All right.
but I wouldn't be surprised if they adjusted them up a little bit because from watching what people are saying, that seems to be that they'll
I hope they
they'll
buff
bump it up a
and
tiny
don't
bit.
listen to the people that are complaining in the forums that say it's too cheap, and give us the cheap prices for once.
One other thing I did want to touch on is that Minas Tirith had some actual major graphical updates in this version of the build of beta, and
Mhm.
they added in like all these archways and banners and all sorts of things to make the scale feel so much bigger and really help bring the city together and make it feel like this cohesive defensive structure. And I think that it feels so much more like Minas Tirith now, just adding in like these archways and like tiny little things like that to make it seem more grand. And I
And some
really,
more
really like it.
Some more NPCs. Probably not the full complement of NPCs that we'll eventually see, but definitely some more.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they also opened up some more areas they had closed off, and so it just feels like much more like a city now, and a defensive structure all combined into one. And I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to see what future builds add to the city, because this was a huge improvement. Plus, Denethor now has some marble flooring, so that's cool too.
He's got the shiniest floor in the game.
He does.
Yeah.
That's important.
They
He is,
have-
after all, the steward of
That's
Gondor.
right. The city
So-
is being besieged, but we are going to keep those floors shiny.
That's
So
right.
it's even shinier than the floor at Thorns Hall.
Oh, way, way
Cool.
shinier.
Cool.
Yeah.
Last thing that I'm excited about is that they're making the in-game music, background music, be a lot more consistent. So it's not going to be like wonky when you get in and out of zones, and it seems like they might make it loop a little better.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very exciting.
Nice when you're running and all of a sudden you realize, why is it eerily quiet? I'm about to get shanked.
All right. Let's head into our store sales this week. And is there anything nice on sale?
No.
We at least have a nice free sample.
We have a really nice free sample. This week's free sample is a sturdy steel key. Use coupon code KEEEY one time per account.
Wonder where they came up with that code.
I know that's hard to.
Somebody
remember
held
that.
it.
I feel like
Yeah.
someone's like doing the
Let's
con
do-
shout just for key. It's like,
And then we have yet
Key.
another sale on legendary junk. So 30% off legendary slot unlock, legacy tier upgrades, legacy scroll of combination, and relic removal scroll. But to go with your free sturdy steel key, we have a loot box weekend, which is an increase in loot box drops, also key drops, now through October 11th. And also this week, 20% off 1 year VIP.
awesome.
I
That's
got
a
a
good
question
price.
about that. I have a question about that.
Yes.
If you're already a VIP, how do you get that? Because I know it. You can add it on, right?
Yeah, you can add it on if you
But
have
how do you do it?
if you've never had it before. That's a key
Right,
thing to
Yeah.
note.
right.
If you
But
have
how do
gotten
you do
the
it?
20% before, you cannot get it again.
Because I've tried to do it and I don't understand.
You have
It's
to go into your options and update your payment settings in your My Account.
Yep.
okay. Got it. Okay.
But that was like the most sales pitchy I think I've ever heard Terry Adwin. Like that
Me
was
too. That was a little.
impressive.
That was kind of scary,
I
actually.
actually liked it. I felt like you could put like sales music to it and she'd be like getting us all buying legendary items. I mean, it was really impressive.
Yeah, it was a little bit like, who are you and what have you done with Terry Adwin?
It's almost like she does sales in real life.
Imagine that, because I kind of do.
Yeah.
I work in retail. I'm not a salesperson, though. I am a
Right.
customer service associate.
Aha, yes.
Yeah.
Trying to keep all the people happy when they're trying to decide what they want to buy.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I need to rearrange. I need to rebuild my entire house. What do I need?
You need one of these people.
Yes.
Let me refer to you to our new department, the new store.
Yes. All right. Let's head into our players' news, and this week's players' news is brought to you by a secret.
Well, that was last week. The secret is we don't have an ad for this week. However, I have heard on good authority that there is, in fact, a new marketplace coming to the LOTRO universe.
Better than
very
Lalia.
Which puts Lalia on extreme competitive grounds because Lalia
No way.
compete. So,
How do we know Lalia's not making the new store?
because
gosh.
when you
That's
go
like the worst idea
inside
ever.
the new store, you have the ability to buy more than one item, and there isn't a hobbit who is an annoying counter person.
And I guess there's no mithril coins. That's the real clue,
Yeah,
is that
you
they're
can
secluded
buy
to one part of the store. You're not
more.
buying things with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you could buy mithril coins there.
You could. You sure could.
Yeah, but that's always been the case. If Lalia took over the store, you'd be buying everything with with mithril coins. Even mithril coins, it'd just be this terrible exchange rate, updating the currency every year.
Interesting. Interesting.
All
Like
right.
the 2015
Let's then
mithril
head
coins.
into our poll for this week, and the question is, what is the question this week, Andy?
Well, thank you for asking, Pineleaf. I appreciate that after this many polls that you are actually asking me what the poll is this week. That's really nice. Thank you. Yes, this week is. See, now I'm messing it up because I was so shocked that Pineleaf's actually let me do this. All right. So yes, this week's question is, do you like the new store? And 69% with 64 votes said yes, they do. 23% said other, and 9% with 8 votes said no, they do not. And keep in mind, this poll will still be going for whenever the new store does come up, which I heard is Tuesday. And you can actually vote still then on this poll, if you have not voted
What if
already.
you change your mind based on how the store really comes up on Tuesday as opposed to...
Well, then you go into the comments, and then I'm like, okay, I'll change your vote because I can actually do that with my moderator powers.
Make ending do math.
Well, it's
All right,
really
does
just
that
adding
mean
one and
we're running-
subtracting one, but yeah, math.
Does that mean we'll have an update to this poll next week?
We can do that, yeah.
All right. Then let's head into Lotro Academy episode 112, where we took a look at the quest pack for Angmar.
Angmar, a land of dark, scary red skies, mangy wargs, and evil things that go skitter, skitter, skitter in the dark.
And also evil things that go boom, boom.
Absolutely. gotta worry about the big
Dark.
boom. This was an exceptionally fun episode of the Lotro Academy, and I'm not saying that just because I was the guest star, or maybe I am, but I would say that it's nice to be able to go through quest packs and review them and evaluate the value of, you know, whatever the turbine point is. I guess this time it was $7.95, if I remember correctly, versus the content, to see if it's good for you or not.
And I'm about halfway through, so no spoilers.
Okay.
Well, the big thing with Angmar is make sure you do book 6 so that you can
Yeah.
unlock
Yeah.
half the Quizone.
But I wonder on that quest
Yeah.
count if how that if they're including epic quests or what they're doing to get that 200
No, we do
number,
not.
because
Their count?
yeah.
I actually don't even think that even with the epic, it would add up to their number.
Well, there's like 3 books at least that are Ningguar, so that would be like probably 30 quests right there.
It seems to me that the Angmar quest count number includes every possible thing you can do in Angmar, but
Probably
it doesn't.
repeatables too.
Yeah, and it doesn't filter down the actual amount purchased by the quest pack.
Right.
So it's not as straightforward as you'd like it to be. Because there's a lot of stuff to do in Angmar, but the quest pack doesn't necessarily include all of it.
Because I'm guessing there
So-
are technically over 200 quests in Angmar. It's just that there's not that many that are actually bought by the quest pack.
Right.
Yeah, that's the tricksy part.
Trixie.
But hey, I just got my mini to Angmar, so that's awesome.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever spent long enough. I mean, I did a hefty chunk of Angmar on my Guardian a long time ago, but I think I blocked most of it out of my memory. I like on right now I'm on a quest, like a meta quest, I guess, to like I want to get one of each class to level 100, and on the way I'd like to do all of the quests in all the zones. So like on my minstrel, I did a Regian, and Angmar is gonna have to get done at some point. So those 200 theoretically quests, I have to decide which of my characters is gonna endure them.
Do it
I
on
think
your
it's-
bird.
You'll
I was
want to do it with the
Do
group
it on your
too.
bird.
Like at least 2 or 3 people.
See, that's the thing is I was
Um,
thinking of doing it on my warden because a warden is like 2 or 3 people.
So
Well, if you believe the media hype,
I mean, I did it on my guardian, which is sort of 2 or 3 people. So
Hmm.
I'll probably end up doing it on my warden or burglar just to avoid everything and go the Terry Adwin route. I'm not decided yet.
it's snicky.
Snicky.
All right, and we have another 2 episodes of The Loss from Nim, and in the case of The Loss, it looks like there were only 2 this week because it's a pretty long episodes.
That is a significant amount of poetry right there.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on them?
Well, I wonder. I don't think that these are the end, but they might be. So that might be a thing, or there might be more coming in the future. It'll be interesting to see.
We'll find
Well,
out
with your
next
So
week.
straight
the next
moderator
series gonna
powers, I
be-
bet you would have seen if there were any more ahead.
Well, I
Water-
have not looked actually, so
So is the next series going to be The Finding?
the finding
The Lost.
of the lost
Finding.
episode.
The Rejoicing. I don't know. Just throwing stuff out there.
All right, let's head into our LOTRO video highlights, and it looks like it features horse racing.
Yes, this is the best horse racing video in any game you will ever see. Let's just get that out of the way first. It
Okay,
is pretty good.
Including specialist horse racing?
Well,
games?
maybe not that, but all the other types of games that are not in the horse racing genre.
Okay.
Kind
You
of.
realize I'm like gonna go pull up Steam right now and look horse racing and see if there is anything, right?
And see if there are any. Well,
I'm probably gonna do that too.
Or even like some kind of Black Ops game or like Metal Gear game or something that has horses in it. I don't know.
Yeah, they both do actually.
But like the syncrasy and the
sorry.
cinematography in this
What?
is just really high quality. I really enjoyed this video.
Yeah, it's very cool. It sort of seamlessly weaves like 4 different racetracks together.
Yeah.
There's 4 different racetracks in Lotro?
There's
Or the other
three-
2?
There's 3 racetracks plus a town in the Shire.
Where's the 3rd racetrack?
Well,
I think Stacer has one.
Oh, that's right. It has that quest one you do.
Yep.
I'm seeing my riding stable's life with horses, but I don't see anything under horse racing. So I think we're okay with that claim.
One of the things I liked about this video is because it is set a lot in the Shire and a lot in Bree and a lot in the surrounding areas, which does have that rich green rolling countryside, which is reminiscent of Great Britain and yada yada yada. It reminded me of Mary Poppins and the merry-go-round horses popping off and going on a whimsical frolic through the countryside, even though they weren't like pink and green because they're actual horses. But it was a really fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
Does that mean then that if you win, do you feel supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Indubitably.
Indubitably. All right.
Gosh.
I feel like that was almost rehearsed on Karv's part. He's like, please, somebody say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Please, someone say
I was just like, as soon as we started
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
it, I'm like, oh, I got to come back. I'm ready. Let's bring it. Come on. In Mary Poppins, we go way back.
Okay.
And we have yes, and we have episode 62 of the family line, To Help Our On. And based on the picture, I suppose it takes place somewhere near Numinous.
That looks like an accurate statement.
There have been so many of these that we've just lost things to say on this series.
Yes.
That's what's
Oh, it's
happened.
like, I'm just. You
In all
almost gotta
honesty-
pull a laptop and cuddle up into a big chair and just
Yeah.
kind of
I
rang
was
through
gonna say, I
them,
need,
or
I
the
need, I
tablet
need
or
to
something.
family line binge.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
Well, yeah, there is that little detail also, is that
I have not had a chance to watch, or excuse me, watch. I have not had a chance yet to watch some of the words on my screen.
You could do like a stream of the family line if he gave you permission. And
A
just
stream
like
of reading it?
stream reading out loud. Erethar's
is that-
acting studio.
Is that a thing?
Some
Stream
people
reading?
do that, yeah.
I believe it. I mean, if you can buy an audiobook, why not add a little bit extra interesting to it and just say, hey, look, this is a story about a place I can go to in game. I'm going to switch to first person view and I'm going to walk through these areas and I'm going to read the story.
Huh.
Sounds like a lot of work, but you know.
I was gonna say that requires way too much
I
coordination.
know. There's a lot going on, especially if you're going to have actors acting out parts of the scenes and stuff.
But that would be interesting to make like a. I mean, I know they have the plays as part of the festivals, but you don't often see like legit plays. Like it'd be cool to see someone.
I
like,
have seen a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
I-
Moreland
I've
and
seen it.
Landerville.
I've seen a couple, but I haven't seen any that are like epic.
Yeah,
There's some pretty good
you're
ones.
stepping beyond play into like hardcore edited machinima there, and then it becomes like involved. You know,
Yeah.
there's like involvement, and then there's involved, and you just step right into that deep bass involved. And you go to
So
that.
you're looking more into a motion picture rather than into a play then.
No,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even something like a play. Like I've seen some plays, but it ends up it's like about hobbits in the Shire and pies and yay. But it'd be cool to see like a play in the Hall of Fire about the story of Turin Turambar or something like that would be cool.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's now probably the best play I've ever seen presented in Lotro was done on Larlin a few years back, which was the story of Galadriel from before the first stage all the way up to the present.
That would be cool.
And there was the Lost Matham, which was a pretty good play. And then there was Yar Yar, I'm a Pirate, or whatever that one was.
Well, that one just sounds like the most elven of all.
Hobbit pirates. Hey, I've got an elven pirate.
All right. Now, let's go into, speaking of hobbits, into Small Lotro Adventures, where we had a double episode this week, where the first episode was a little short because apparently they forgot to turn on the mics, but they made up for it in the second one. Made sure you had plenty of chat there.
Yeah, and you know, Lilika could do 2 episodes a week now that she is no longer doing the community events. Which reminds me, we could use somebody to take over community events if you're interested and enjoyed those posts in the past. It's pretty easy. You just take people's comments and put them into an article each week of their events. And if you're interested in doing that, just send an email to contact@lotroplayers.com.
Oh, yes. And now the biggest problem about this week's episode of Bingo was that apparently the translators fouled things up on the German client for this one, and
Yeah, that's
So
what I've heard as well.
the puzzle was completely done wrong on the German client.
Yeah, apparently one of the words was supposed to mean this, but it didn't mean the same
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
when it was translated to German, and it got all catterwampus.
yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, because they showed a screenshot of it. It's like, no, that's completely.
So yeah, somebody
You
on
don't even
stream
have to
said
know
like,
German to know that it was completely wrong.
it's like I'm pretty sure that's not a real word in
Yes.
any language ever.
Yes. I hope the French version was better.
I hope so.
All right, and this week the soloist interviews Karanor. Karanor.
That's as good as I could do it, finally.
Okay.
I thought it was like Karana Lenore or
Ah,
something.
show off.
That will work. Corona Lenore wins.
Yeah, actually.
It's all that practice
Karen
reading
Eleanor.
random names in chat.
Well, that's
Karen
true.
Eleanor.
It doesn't
All
even have
right,
numbers.
the player is called Karen Eleanor. Yeah, that would be.
That's like Celebrimbor's wife, name-wise. Like,
It's a really cool name,
that is, yeah.
and actually, like that, the interview was really nifty. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
Forte
neat.
does some amazing interviews in his soloist, and also some of the other series that he does interviews in. It's always cool to hear musicians talk about their job in Lotro. It's really cool.
And it's kind of one of those things that when you're running around the landscape, you kind of forget. Like, oh, just I passed by somebody and they were doing this, but sometimes it's like easy to forget that, oh, I passed by somebody doing this. That's a person, like an actual real human being who has a life and is cool in other ways other than because they're cool because they play Lotro. But like, there's a lot. Like, people are cool.
People are cool.
People are cool. I'm just going to be quiet now.
Now, my question is, when Forte does these interviews, does he do them in game or does he at least go into a voice chat so they can do it more easily?
Forte, let us know in either the comments or in an email so that
My
mine
money-
can be answered.
My money is on in-game chat
Mine is
My
too.
money's on in-game too.
because of the format.
Or,
Yeah.
in-game mail, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, let's then go into the House of Bjorn, which is now at Chapter 12, Old Enemies, New Friends. And very, very quiet response.
It's hard to comment the fanfic series because we don't want to spoil anybody.
What
Well,
just happened
yeah,
is we had
there
one of
is
those
that
moments where like everyone thinks the podcast stopped and they look down at their phone to make sure it's still working right.
Yes, then we'll head into
Actually, we're all just
Actually,
waiting for somebody else.
I
to
do
say-
want to say, yeah, I think everyone's just waiting for somebody else to say something because none of us got the chance to read all the things. Like, I often don't get a chance to read all the things on Lotro Players that I would like to because I'm busy. I have different stuff going on. But the sheer volume of stuff that is on Lotro Players is amazing. It's almost
Yeah.
like not there's as much as in the game because lol nope. But like just like in the game, there's something for everyone in the game, no matter what kind of stuff you like to do. It's true with Lotro Players, like the website too. Like no matter, like not everyone likes fanfics, but if you like fanfics, they're there for you. If you like poetry, it's there for you. If you like information about the game, it's there for you. If you like guides on how to do stuff, it's there. Like there's so much stuff on the Lotro Players website, you guys. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been very blessed to have so many great writers. We have had over 2,400 posts on Lotro Players since we've started. And, that's just amazing. We're like getting really close to CSTM's amount that they had in 4 years. I mean, we have just so many writers putting out awesome stuff. And we have over 30 writers. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, tons and tons of content, and it's just amazing. So thank you guys for putting in the time and helping us make articles on Lotro Players. It's really awesome.
Even if we don't like all read them all every week, they're still appreciated.
Yeah, because there's
Well,
still
how
plenty
they'll
of people
take it
reading them every
read
week.
Oh
every-
yeah. Oh yeah.
And we have another episode of the Tales of the Free Folk coming up, so therefore we have the episode 3 prologue and ending. Any little tidbits you want to share with us?
Well, remember how last week how we had like an hour and a half of combat?
Yep.
Apparently that was 4 minutes. um,
Oh my gosh.
this was
Yeah.
a really cool little prologue that Greymaster wrote again, and goes through all sorts of stuff, and apparently everyone is gonna go to bed. But there is somebody that the story is still being told to this week. So the bard doesn't sleep for nothing. He's just gonna keep telling the story. So,
Super great.
yep.
Awesome.
All right, then let's head into the pick of the week. And Terry, what's the pick of the week?
This week's pick is
I believe
from
it's the
Lena's.
Braxwolf Memorial pick.
It's the
Yes,
Braxwolf
it
Memorial
is.
pick of the week.
Yeah.
It is from Lena's Biscuity Burrow. Lena has written a quick unofficial guide to start role-playing in LOTRO. This is probably one of the best roleplay guides that I've ever read, and it's not just relevant to LOTRO, it's actually relevant to other RP things. I mean, obviously it's LOTRO focused, but for those who don't know, even though I don't roleplay in LOTRO, I actually have a background in roleplaying. So when I say it's an awesome guide, I mean it's truly an awesome guide. I read through it and I was like, she's got some tips in here that even experienced role players I've seen kind of forget. So it talks about, and I think that this is a great pick because none of us on the podcast actually really role play in the game, and we've had some viewer feedback about and some questions about what role play entails. So she goes through, she discusses at first what roleplay is. She talks about the different roleplay servers, what the different rules are on each of the servers. She talks about the official policies and some possibly unofficial rules that you should maybe be aware of, but don't necessarily have to abide by the letter of because they're unofficial. She's got some tips for starting role players, and she's got some closing thoughts. And so it's just awesome. And I would love to point all those people that are like, well, I don't want to be forced into role playing. One of the biggest things that is my takeaway from this article is just because you're on a role-playing server doesn't mean you have to role-play. You just have to not be a jerk to the people who are role-playing.
Or you can roleplay as a jerk.
You can role-play as a jerk to a certain extent.
Yeah, there
Until-
are limits to that.
Until you get the ban.
Yeah, there are some limits. I mean, it's cool if you want to role-play your character as a jerk, but there's some things that you just don't do.
Like messing up Weatherstock.
Like messing up.
Yeah.
Like being at a huge event and dropping a runekeeper thingy that bubbles the audience and crashes the server, or the ginormous Bjorning heals, because I walked into that today at the Forsaken Inn. That was fun.
Sorry, I'm just imagining glowing tendrils of light coming out of the floorboards everywhere. It's like, oh, the end of the Forsaken's active tonight.
What the heck?
Yeah, Bjorning heals are nuts. Just saying.
So
They're more acorny and leafy.
if you are at all interested in role playing, and even if you're not at all interested in role playing, but you want to know what the heck is going on with these people, check this guide out because it's really awesome.
And I should note concerning role playing is that it's not mandatory if you're on Langeville, because I have characters on Langeville. I have a capped character on Langeville, and the only role playing events I are when I'm attending a concert. If I'm not attending a concert, then I'm not role playing. So therefore, it's very little time I'm doing role playing.
Well, all of my characters are on Langeville, and I don't roleplay.
Right.
But she actually makes an interesting point, because by being in the game, we've taken some kind of role-playing upon ourselves already. Even though you're not considered to be role-playing with everybody else, you kind of get stuck in this idea of who your character is. So even if you're not interacting on that level with everybody else, which I don't do, even in my case, my characters all develop their certain voices and personalities and stuff like that. And in most cases, that's what people tend to do. So role-playing is really just branching out and interacting with others and trying to weave some sort of cohesive story out of all of that. which can be hit or miss. For me, it's a lot of miss, but I respect those that do.
All right, then. Let's head into our week in Lotro. And Andy, what were you up to?
Well, Pineleaf, I did a skirmish stream, and it was a lot
Ooh.
of fun. Did lots
Oh,
of skirmishes with you and Terry. And
all
Karv.
right. And did we?
I was there for a little
Yes,
bit
we
too.
attempted to do a couple of them with 4 people, and you know how fun 4-player skirmishes can be.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Pineleaf.
We had a
That
weather
sounds fun.
predicting runekeeper pirate. I mean, it was great. Told you there was a storm on the horizon.
That's true. That was really fun.
Yes, there was a storm on Methodist.
Oh.
Yeah, there was one on the top of Amansul too.
All
Which, when you
right.
think about it, considering the weather patterns on the top of Amansul, every time somebody runs that skirmish, it's a wonder the Forsaken Inn hasn't bothered to fix their roof yet. I'm just saying. Not to mention all the runekeepers that go up there for their, storm level
Yeah.
15 class D.
Yeah, it sounds like every drop of rain that falls in the lowlands falls on top of Weathertop. Well, something has to feed that waterfall.
That's true.
Oh, that's why it's called Weathertop. Oh. We should have
Right,
called
that's
it
where all the
Bad
weather is.
Weathertop.
All right, Eric, there, what have you been up to?
Mostly guardianing stuff. Nailed it. A lot of guardianing. Mostly getting some deeds done. Did a whole bunch of Evandim quests. There's a ton of stuff to do in the Eve Spires, like a ton of stuff. There's like this little quest hub there I never knew about, and I also did the log flume, which is a lot of fun.
That is so cool.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, and did some tanking tier 2C stuff. Ran a couple solo nutsy things, but yeah, doing my normal guardian craziness stuff. Getting my character better.
All right. And Carpet, did you do anything other than skirmishes?
Yeah, actually, I did a lot of stuff. But what I'm going to talk about tonight is another thing I thought was a real neat little trick in case you're like playing a minstrel or some kind of healing class. Let's just say you're on your runekeeper or your minstrel and you're in a semi-hostile zone, but you found a nice little nook to go AFK in or log out in because real life has grabbed you. You stack a whole bunch of hots on yourself, which is heal over time for all of you non-acronym MMO users, and then you log out. You're like, why would you do such a thing, Karv? Well, I'll tell you. When you log back in, depending on the duration of those heal over time effects, they will still be ticking. So that little nasty thing you get when you log in and have no morale will immediately be counteracted by the hots you stuck on yourself before you logged out. So my minstrel was doing a deed where I was putting a whole bunch of hots on myself, and then I logged out, and I came back in, and I was like, oh, look, I have full health, because all of those things were still ticking. I was like, that's fantastic. I'm going to use that all the time. So that's what I learned this week. Maven, you?
Well, I, among other things, leveled my Gladden Lore Master up to level 20. She's actually standing in the skirmish camp in South Korea at the moment. But the real highlight of this was I went into the Barrow Downs, and I mean, I did the bingo quest, okay, in the Barrow Downs, but I don't know why I didn't notice, but I came in, through the main thing where the dead adventurer is, and I run in and I'm like, what is going on here? The whole place is like waving in green grass. You can't see the crawlers. You can't see the rats.
Yep.
I was like, what did they do? And then when you're in the South Barrow Downs, where the bogs are, there's beautiful, wetlands grasses with flowers growing. I was like, this is bizarre. And then
That's part of the
I
update.
mean, maybe it's a year. It was part of the update, and I knew the fog. But I gotta say one thing they didn't update. That stupid Lelia still says it's so foggy, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not foggy. It's grassy. They need to change
You
it.
can't see over the grass now. It's
Yeah.
Barrow Downs sun got all fuzzy.
Anyway, it's really beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous, and I thought actually it'd be cool if they did like a seasonal thing. Like during the summer, it's like dry
would
and
be
everything,
cool.
and then the
Yeah.
grasses grow. That would be cool.
And if
But
you
anyway,
really,
so I can't believe I missed it.
if you really do have trouble with like the grass, you can turn off frill in the options, and that will take away all the grass and bushes and all that stuff, so that you can see
Well,
your
that's
quest
useful,
stuff.
but I really liked it. I thought it was awesome, frankly. I thought it was
Well,
really pretty.
yeah,
I
I
was
think
like,
it is
oh,
too, but I know some people like to
narrow
turn
down's
that off.
pretty? I mean, is that like an oxymoron or what?
I mean,
know,
in the books, aren't they really like lush green hills? It's just kind of a murky, foggy area. They have these grass-covered hills.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that there's like wildlife there, like eating it, except for like the dogs, I guess. But other than
And they
that,
don't talk about the giant crawlers everywhere, which is
no,
like,
or the devil dogs.
yeah.
Anyway,
It is
so
kind
Tara.
of, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I was just, it is kind of disorienting now that there's all that grass and foliage because you're used to going through there with
I
a
know.
certain terrain, and your brain's like, oh, I know where I. Wait a second, where
I
am
know.
I? had
I
to
was
look around
constantly
several
flipping
times
over my
last time I
map
went
because
through
I'm
there.
like, I was looking for the dead spire, and I'm like, I'm completely disoriented because
Now
it's
you
all
know
way
why the
grass and
hobbits
stuff.
got lost.
There you go.
They're
Yep.
true.
So
They had
Terry,
graphics changes in the middle of their stay.
what did you do this week that is worth
Well,
noting?
my highlight for the week is that I wandered around Moria on Arkenstone during the Academy field trip. I only got lost a couple of times, and then somebody else decided to lead the way. But I still don't suck at Moria because I actually didn't fall off anything this time. So that's
Right,
a change from last week.
We
where
didn't jump. We didn't jump voluntarily.
I
But
didn't jump voluntarily off of. No, I didn't jump off of anything.
I thought we did in the garden. We jumped, didn't we? Jump? I thought we jumped.
Oh yeah, we did jump, but we didn't die. That was just a
No, we didn't die.
cosmetic thing.
Right.
Yeah, and so we did some stuff. We went out to Xerxegel. We picked up some stable quests, killed some goblins, killed some orcs. I am still missing a freaking book
Just
page
another-
on Terry.
Just another day in Moria.
55. She's halfway to level 56 and still missing a freaking book page. It's driving me
It
nuts.
happened to me too. I grinded, I don't know, out my book pages on my Guardian because that was like the thing to do. But I realized that was really boring and I didn't want to do that again. So I, like on my Minstrel, I just totally forgot about book pages. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to let them happen when they happen. If I get out of Moria and I still don't have them, then I'll go back. And I got all of them by the time I was level 56 and more. I think I got the last one at sometime during level 56.
Well, but here's the thing: is I've been missing that book page since before we went into Moria.
Okay.
Like it was the last
They
one.
all
that
drop
they
in
keep-
Moria. It's okay.
That's what they keep telling me. But so it's like the everybody else is like, oh, you can just leave that goblin there. I'm like, no, I can't. I gotta kill them all.
I just want to say
Kill them all.
a totally random thing. I came across somebody in game. Their name was Pasta, a Bacon, Beer Volcano, and they started up a roleplay conversation. I was like, "You sir are awesome."
Role-playing conversation.
I'm standing there in Forakel, and he's like, "It's mighty cold around here," and I'm like, "Lol." Pasta bacon. Yes, I agree. It is cold. You're gonna congeal if you stay out here too long.
That is so funny.
So Pine Leaf, how was your week?
Do you remember last weekend when we had the choose your own discount week?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I was deciding, all right, I'll buy a couple of these, some extra storage and all that. And while I was going there, I ran across what were the mounts that were available. And I decided to get the Steed of Rivendell.
Ooh.
The
Now you have a
account-
little fairy light. Now you have
Yeah.
a little fairy light off your
Right.
horse.
So now all my characters are riding around on the Steed of Rivendell.
You know, we don't really know what kind of stuff that Elrond does with the steeds before, because he might like prep them to be able to talk to them like later, so they're really like his spies throughout Middle Earth. I'm just saying, don't
Go
trust your
on.
steeds of Rivendell.
Oh. I'll have to. And the main reason why I got that is because while I have this large selection of steeds from various promos and stuff like this, the bulk of them are just so light. And I just felt I needed to have a darker steed in my repertoire, so So I got that. And I thought that was with a 30% discount, that would be useful then.
I got the Steed of Daggerlad because I was like, you know what? I want one really cool horse. And I used that one on my Guardian and dyed it black on a black horse. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing.
I hear
Same
you.
thing.
Same reason I bought the Seed of Kundalar for my
Oh,
my
that's a cool
champion.
one.
Yeah, he looks awesome because I kind of his backstory is rune, so he's like a defected runic warrior.
Like runic.
Yeah,
Like rune,
he is.
like
Yeah,
rune.
he's a scholar too, so double
works.
pun. Yeah. But yeah, I even bought the mount rear up for that one, so it looks really, really cool.
I wish Mount Rear Up was account wide. Anyways.
For real.
Okay, sorry. Just one more final thing. I know we're on a time crunch, but I just met Galadriel of Lorien and of the Kinship Order of the Golden Wood, and she's dressed very accurately to Galadriel, and it's really cool. It's with an A instead of an E, and I don't know how that name was available.
What server are you on?
Well, I'm wondering how
Glad.
how far you get before you get reported on that one, since.
Why would
Well,
you
it's
get reported?
Gladden.
Yeah, it's Gladden. You're allowed. Maybe she's like
No,
Galadriel's
because
lost
it's
princess.
actually it's against the general naming policy.
It is.
Just the RP naming policy to have one of a major character that's.
And they've banned people
misspelling
before,
it.
or not banned, but took away their
Right.
names before. So
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Galadriel, if I just got you banned. I feel awful.
they
No,
don't
yeah.
ban. I didn't mean to say that. They do take.
I'm
I'm
away
sorry,
names.
Galadriel,
Yeah.
if you're about to be Galadriel -1.
I know one of the players that I do my weekly skirmishes with, her original character name was Celebrant the Wise,
And even like.
and she went 5 years in the game before someone
Yeah.
finally noticed enough to report her.
And even like if you take a name of one of the character names that they start using in their epic story, then they can back and change your name. So like if you had Bingo Boffin before, by
would
some odd
suck.
chance,
That would suck.
then they'd take that away, and because they don't want everyone to think that you're Bingo just popping up and phasing in.
So there are a couple of people though who do have the same name as an NPC. The name's no longer available, but it was when they were doing. But since it wasn't a major character, they
Right.
didn't go retroactively taking away those. But yeah, but Bingo Boffin though is too major of a character for them to leave up. All right, we currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you would like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, go to the donations page where you could support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you will find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest of an episode of LOTRO Players News. And how far are we from the next LOTRO goal?
Well, Pineleaf, the next goal is actually the next LOTRO goal, and we're $37 away from a LOTRO 1-year VIP code giveaway, which would be really awesome to do. So if you'd like to help support the network and also help get a giveaway on the site, then you can go over to Patreon and help make that happen.
I have like this list that I've got in my head of all the different people, like once I am able to get a job, like all the different people that I'm going to be subbing to their, like supporting them on Patreon. There's like 6 different people. I'm like, oh, this is going to happen as soon as I can.
Nice.
Do it. Don't make me be the one to get us there, etc.
Yes. All right. FarQuester left a 5-star review on iTunes. People who clearly care about the game and community, talking about every aspect. A must listen. Anshi of Landrival, Sons of Numenor.
Was that a review about our show?
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
For that, you get to read Tamarik's comment on LOTRO Players News episode 118.
Okay. For penance. All right. Tamaric writes, I don't know if I'd call the stacking of crafting mats to 500 an update. I think it's more of a fix. It should have been that way since the beginning. And an incomplete fix at that. What about the task items, potions, reputation items, tokens, food, and everything else that stacks? Would it not make sense to have everything stacked to the same number? Scholar's buff scrolls still only stack to 20 for Pete's sake. With the new crafting tier also brings new auto-generated, auto-granted level 100 recipes. However, it seems the highest items we can craft all have holes in it. You'd think crafters at this level would be able to make exactly what they need and not have to craft something with slots. If there is no ability to quickly craft essences as well, it seems more like the new crafted gear is just a push towards the epic battle essence hamster wheel. Hopefully, there will be some guild recipes to fill the void and allow crafters a non-essence option.
Well said.
Now the question is, what are the drop rates for recipes for the new tier? And
I think he says it's auto granted. I
no, but
haven't looked at it.
but the ones he's talking about are there additional recipes that are gained through drops
Oh, I see.
that might fill these
I don't know
holes
if
he's
there are.
talking about? Or are
No,
those the
the
only
holes
ones?
he's talking about are the whole
Yeah,
dress.
yeah, I know he's talking about the essence, but are there regular items also? It's just that we haven't been going around killing enough mobs on the landscape to see what the drop rate is for them.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, then let's.
I will say like one thing is I don't think that the stacking like the little quality of life things on any of the updates is like the update. Like that's not the main focus of the update. Like update 17 is Minos Tirith. If I had something to make my voice echo, I would. Minos Tirith, Tirith. Like that's the main update part of it. But I think like these things like crafting mats to 500 are just little quality of life things that
Right,
people
but
have
I
been asking
think
for a long time.
I think more what he's saying is exactly that. That this should have been fixed like from the beginning. You should have been able to have like 500 all at once in like everything and just be able to stack a ton of stuff. But obviously there were different server restrictions back then and all sorts of other like behind the scenes stuff that we don't even know about. And so, now that they're getting new servers, maybe they think it's finally able to actually stack more things. So maybe we'll see more things be stacked in the future.
I'm just happy for this one thing.
I am
And
too.
after we get this one thing, then we'll be like, hey, you know how we did that one thing? Let's do the other thing that's similar to that one thing, sort of like that one thing.
I'm hoping
Fill in
after
the
we
blanks.
get through Minas
It's necessary.
Tirith or Mordor that they'll still be developing the game and be doing like a year of just quality of life things and then go on to like Harad or something.
That'd be cool.
All right. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@lotroplayers.com. You could also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, Lotro Players at Lotro Players, Andang at PPMP_Andang, Arathert at Arathert, Carvet at Carvet LP, Maven at Tolkien Maven, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Niels, and Terry Adwin at Terry Adwin. The Players Alliance has 3 shows every single week. On Mondays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. Every other Thursday at 9 o'clock p.m. Okay, so it's not every week. Is XP Quest. And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lojo Players News. In addition to this, we also have after Lojo Players News Tales of the Free Folk. You can join us for our live shows at lojoplayers.com/live. Thank you everyone for listening. This is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.